Hi, I'm David Foster, your guest host on Good Rockin Tonight. Tonight, Corey Hart, the Thompson Twins, Northern Lights, Platinum Blonde, Roger Daltrey, Gina Vanelli, and yours truly, David Foster. Interviews with John Parr and Dire Straits. The Tears for Fears trivia winners and the top 20 singles and albums, all that and much, much more on Good Rockin Tonight. Up until this year, when you thought of Dire Straits, you thought of Mark Knopfler and the Sultans of Swing. From their self-titled debut album of 1978, and I was there in 1978, I saw them live, they were terrific. Here was a different sounding, different thinking group who embraced the soul sounds of the 60s. But Dire Straits really didn't nail down their place in rock until this year's Brothers in Arms, and its #1 single, Money for Nothing, along with that killer video. And although the group has changed personnel, Mark's distinctive vocals and guitar work are still there. But most importantly, his songwriting is still the best thing about Dire Straits. Fred Cosby from CBC News did the interview.
I'm wondering, do you see any significance in the fact that British bands are once again dominating the charts in North America?
No, I don't see any significance in that, or no patterns, or nothing of that nature whatsoever. I don't believe in all of this, the British invasion this, or the American this, or the Canadian sound, or any of that. That's all media stuff. But if it happens that there's 3 Canadian bands doing well, people start writing reams and reams of copy about this and that. That's just
keeps the support industries busy.
Yeah, it's just a coincidence.
But don't you think there is kind of a sort of creative fertility in British music right now?
There always has been from Britain, but at the same time there's a tremendous amount of mediocrity coming out of British music, and people shouldn't forget that either. And it's the same, there's a lot of, I've heard an awful lot of amazing, really good Canadian music, a lot of terrible Canadian music as well. And it's the same in Australia, it's the same in America, and it's probably the same in India, if you're into Indian music, and I think that's just the way it is. Little kids are really impressionable. I mean, I grew up watching Hollywood movies, and so did you, and you probably know as well as I do that it's just that it now inhabits your consciousness. It's colonized it in a way, and it's very difficult to lose that. And it's wrong to assume that people are going to be impervious to that kind of influence, that people will imitate.
So you accept that responsibility?
Yeah, I accept responsibility. Not only that, I mean, I'll accept responsibility for what I write. I'll accept responsibility for what I do on the stage. You have to. I mean, I think that's probably what being a person is, isn't it? I came to write the song "Money for Nothing" by going into a store. It's like a store that sold all kinds of electronic stuff, you know, like fridges, and they had a kitchen display in the front window, and it had a wall of TV sets at the back. And I went inside, and there were some guys in there who worked in there talking. All these TV sets were tuned to MTV, and there was a couple of guys in there, one guy in particular talking about all the acts who were coming on. And that's it. It was just a conversation. I had to sneak up behind him. I had to nick up a row, you know, and get up behind some microwaves and spy on him a bit.
You were just taking notes from the things they were saying?
No, I had to go. I didn't have any paper and pens. I had to go back up to the custom kitchen display bit at the front and ask for a pen and a bit of paper. And I sat down in the window in the display unit and started writing the song in the window.
Now, these were working men?
Yeah.
The character, do you have a name for him?
Woodenheads.
Clarence Woodenhead?
Yeah, Clarence Woodenhead would be a good name, actually.
Do you agree with that philosophy in any way?
No.
Expressed in the song?
No, not in its entirety, of course, no. I mean, he was a prejudiced, hard hat mentality, you know. But some of the things he was saying, obviously, there's a bit in all of us which agrees with him too. I know that. By and large, I think that the best film of music is just film of music being played. Man, most videos don't make it at all. Most of our videos I just don't like at all. And I never have liked them, really. Except Money for Nothing is good because it somehow manages to have its own life, its own integrity, you know, its own thing. And it's very difficult to do that with a video because usually it's telling the same story as the song, which is no good because you're just saying something twice, or it's telling a completely different story, which is no good either because it's not the story that the song was supposed to be telling. So, but in this case, it works. It just works. It has its own world. You know, it does that by animation, partly.